Hi everyone, you're welcome back to my channel. My name is Nancy, and if you're new to my channel, kindly subscribe, share and like my videos, and also put on your notification bell to be notified when I upload new videos. So in today's tutorial, I'll be showing you how to make this drop shoulder asymmetric frills M shirt, and this is a requested tutorial. So for both the shirts and the long sleeve, I made use of a printed fabric, while for the frills I made use of a plain crepe fabric. So these are the essential measurements I need: the shoulder measurements, the bust circumference, the waist circumference, the shoulder to waistline, which is also called the half length, and the round armhole. So let's get started. The first step is to fold the fabric into two. So since it's a shirt, we need to make a placket in the center front. So on this side, I'm going to fold in 2 inches. And this 2 inches fold will be used in making the placket. Now to get the button allowance, I'll divide this fold into 2 to form a vertical line straight down to the hem. The next step is to start marking the measurements on the fabric. First of all, I'm going to mark a straight horizontal line which will serve as the shoulder line. Please also take note that all the measurements will be marked from this new vertical line. That is the button allowance line. So the neck width is 2.5 inches while the neck depth is 3 inches. Now I'll connect these 2 points together to form a round neckline. Next step is to place the shoulder measurements. Our shoulder measurements is 14 divided by 2, that's 7 inches. So I'm going to add half inch sewing allowance to the 7 inches, and that will be 7.5 inches. On this 7.5 inches point, I'm going to mark 1.5 inches below that point to form the shoulder slope. That is the slant shoulder. On the tip of the shoulder slope, I'll place my tape vertically to mark the round armhole. The round armhole is 14 inches divided by 2. I have 7 inches. Now I marked this to form a vertical line. This new horizontal line will be called the bust line. The next step is to place my tape on the armhole line to mark the midpoint. And the midpoint of this line is 3.5 inches. I'll connect it to the bust line in a curved manner to form the armhole curve. Now I'll place the tape on the shoulder line to mark the half length line. The half length line is actually 15 inches, but I added 2 inches to that to make it 17 inches because I don't want the half cut of the shirt to be directly on the waistline. So since the half length I'm working with is 17 inches, I need to add 1 inch sewing allowance to that. Then that will be 18 inches altogether. The next step is to place the bust circumference on the bust line. So the bust circumference divided by 4 is 8.5 inches plus 2.5 inches sewing allowance at the side. On the waistline, I'll place the waist circumference divided by 4 plus 2.5 inches sewing allowance to the side. But you can decide to use a sewing allowance of 2 inches or even 1.5 inches. So now I'm going to cut this out. If you have been following up with my tutorials, you realize that I love to use a lot of allowances on my dress, and the reason is because we are humans. We can add weight at any time or even reduce, and I always love to rock my dress till I get tired of it. So imagine if there's no allowance at all. So I won't be able to enjoy the dress to the fullest. So now I'm going to notch the 2 inches fold to guide me after I've separated the center front, so I don't get confused. The next step is to fold the fabric to cut the back piece. So I folded this fabric into 2 and I placed the front piece on it. Now I'm going to fold the center front of the placket. When making a shirt, The shoulder slope for the back piece should be higher than the front piece. So I'm going to mark 2 inches above the shoulder slope of the front piece. To get the neckline for the back, I'll mark a straight line from the top of the shoulder slope of the front piece first, and to connect it to the neck width of the back piece as shown. So it's time to sew these pieces together. Now to start the sewing, let's work with the front piece first. This is 2 pieces from the front piece. To make the placket, I'm going to fold the center front in by 1.5 inches first. Then I'll fold the edge in by 0.5 inches to secure both sides of the edges with a straight stitch. I'll also secure this other placket the same way I did for the first piece. After securing the plackets, I place the left placket on the right placket to pin together. The next step is to place the front piece on the back piece. To secure the shoulder slope by ½ inch. After securing the shoulder slope, you realize that the back piece is longer than the front piece, and the reason is because of the 2 inches we added to the top of the shoulder slope of the back piece. Now you need to make this equal by adjusting the front piece to the back piece as shown. Now the next step is to place your bust circumference and the waist circumference. So you take it to the sewing machine to secure the sides. I'm going to turn the top to the right side of the fabric. So the length of the top is 17 inches, but we made it 18 inches because of the sewing allowance. Now at the tip of this edge, I'm going to mark a point here. The second point is going to be marked on the tip of the left part of the shoulder. So the essence of marking these 2 points is to get the shirt curve to where the frills is going to be attached on. But if you don't want yours to be in a curved manner, you can use a straight ruler to make a straight line, or you can use a curved ruler to make it curved. It just depends on how you want the shape to be. So the next step is to make a collar. Now I'm going to take the measurements of the neckline. So what I have here is 18 inches. The name of the interfacing I'll be using for the collar is called a gum stay. I folded the gum stay into 2. The neckline is 18 inches divided by 2, that is 9 inches. So I just marked 9 inches. And this is for the collar band. The next step is to mark ½ inch above this point. Now I'm also going to get the midpoint of this straight line. That will be 4.5 inches. To connect these 2 points together, the standard height of the collar band is 1 inch. Neckline, I'm going to place my tape here to mark 9 inches. So 9 inches was gotten by dividing the neck measurements by 2. And the height of the neck stand is 2.5 inches. So the next step is to get the collar spread. The collar spread is gotten by subtracting 2 inches from one edge, then to connect that point to the center of this angle. And on this folded part, I'll mark ½ inch above this point to connect it to the collar spread. After cutting out the gum stay, I'll place the collar band and the collar stand on the fabric to cut out 2 pieces each. Now I glued the gum stay on the fabric, and I also made sure I left about 1/4 inch on the sides for the sewing allowance. The next step is to place the collar stand on each other to secure the sides by 1/4 inch. I won't be securing the lower part of the collar stand. Now I'm going to turn the collar stand to the right side of the fabric. Now to attach the collar band on the collar stand, you need to fold the collar stand into 2 to notch the midpoint of the lower part. After this, I'm also going to fold the collar band into 2 to get the midpoint. Now the next step is to place the collar band on the collar stand as shown. I'm also going to get the midpoints of the second collar band. The next step is to fold this edge of the collar band in by ½ inch, then you secure the sides by ½ inch, and also fold this other edge in by ½ inch to secure the side. Now I'll turn the collar band to the right side of the fabric, and I also pressed it flat. Now I also folded the shirt neckline into 2 to notch the center point. The next step is to fold the collar into 2 equally to notch the center of the collar. I'm going to take both the collar and the shirt to attach the collar band to the neckline of the shirt. If you want to see a tutorial on how I attach this collar band to the neckline of the shirt, I'll be dropping the link in the description box. For the long sleeve, the next step is to take the round armhole measurement. This is 9 inches. Alright guys, this is the shirt sleeve I'll be attaching to the shirt. And if you'd like to learn a simple step-by-step method in making this shirt sleeve, I'll be dropping the link in the description box. Next step is to take the measurements of the shirt opening. So I placed my tape at this tip, and here I have 25 inches. And since it's both for the front and the back piece, I'll multiply that 25 inches by 2, and that will be 50 inches. The next step is to cut out the fabric we'll be using for the frills that will be attached to the shirt. So I'll be using a plain satin fabric. You can use any fabric of your choice, maybe a chiffon fabric, a crepe fabric, or even a satin fabric, but I would have loved to use a chiffon fabric, but I had to use the fabric that is available for me at this time. And the amount of fabric I used was 1 yard because, like I said, it's the available fabric. I would have loved to use maybe 2 yards, so I don't need to start cutting and attaching the fabric to give me the actual width size. Obviously, you can see it has a joining because I was trying to manage the fabric, but I would advise you to just use 2 yards, so you just cut it straight instead of having some joining to make your job very neat. So to know the width of the fabric I need, since I got 50 inches as the shirt opening, I multiplied it by 3, and that gave me 150 inches. Now for the length of the plain fabric, it's very easy. All you just have to do is to use your sleeve length. The sleeve length is 23 inches, but I made sure that I have 25 inches, so by the time I attach it to the shoulder and also secure the hem, it gives me 23 inches. So for instance, since my sleeve length is 23 inches, if I use a length longer than 23 inches for this fabric, this simply means that the frills will cover the hand entirely. So after securing the joining for the plain fabric, I inserted the printed fabric into the plain fabric as shown. Now I'm going to take this to my sewing machine to secure the edges by pleating the plain fabric round the shirt opening. Alright guys, so this is the final outcome after attaching the frills to the shirt. You can see it's very beautiful. So the final step is to secure the hem by folding it in by half an inch and further folding it in by half an inch. So we have come to the end of this tutorial. This stylish top can be rocked on a bomb short and on a jean trouser. You can also use a plain crepe fabric to make yours in one color. Thank you so much guys for watching to the very end.